Hi, and welcome to the Roseville Parks and Recreation Basketball Officials online meeting. This short video was created to provide officials with an overview of league information and points of emphasis to work on throughout the upcoming winter season to ensure that we are providing a high-quality service to those participating in the Roseville Basketball League. Before we get started, I want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Lake Johnson, the League Director for all adult leagues throughout the city of Roseville, including the Men's Basketball League. I had the chance to meet many of you last winter, but look forward to getting back out into the gyms this winter to reintroduce myself. If you have any questions, feel free to always reach out to Willie or myself via email or my phone. First, I want to thank you for working the upcoming winter basketball season here with the City of Roseville. I understand that there are many opportunities within the metro area to officiate, and refereeing adult men's leagues is not always the most enjoyable job as you are often having to deal with the heat from players. As many of you are aware, officials are crucial to the success or failure of our program, so again, we appreciate all of your efforts and hard work throughout the season. Following each season, team managers are given an opportunity to provide feedback regarding league layout, rules, officials, etc. Here you can see a list of some of the feedback that we received from players last season specific to officials. Take a moment to read some of these negative comments listed. Referees were a bit inconsistent. A few are better than others, some lacked hustle. Some refs did not call certain rules, etc. Remember, players recognize referees' behavior throughout the season. Even if they seem tedious, they make a difference. Players' perception of you truly matters and can definitely break or make our league. The three main goals of this video are to discuss Roseville's expectations for officials and for teams, to discuss local rules, and to discuss game management techniques and how to keep games under control. Before your games, make certain you know when and where you are supposed to be. Roseville utilizes two different locations, Roseville Area High School and Central Park Elementary, so be sure to double check with Willie if you have any questions about your schedule. Know what teams you will be officiating for. What type of pace can you expect from teams? Are they C teams where you can expect high quality play, or are they teams from the lower D level? All league schedules are available online at teamsideline.com/RPR for your reference. Please do your best to start all games on time. Generally, you will be scheduled for 4 games each night. Please note when you're officiating at the high school, there are high school teams that will be utilizing the gyms prior to our leagues. They sometimes may run late, so please wait patiently in the lobby area while custodial staff flips the gym for our use. Please do your best to keep those games started by or as close to 6:45 as possible. Please also note we do allow for a 10-minute grace period. If a team does not have 4 players 10 minutes after the scheduled start time, they must forfeit the game. Games will consist of 2 20-minute halves running time except for the following times. During the final 2 minutes of the second half, unless a team is ahead by 20 or more, the clock will remain running. If an injury occurs, or when a timeout is called. If teams are tied at the end of regulation, a 2-minute overtime period will occur with running time except during the final 30 seconds. Appearance. Please come prepared to each game with your basketball official shirt tucked in. Black pants or shorts are okay but should look clean, meaning no ripped holes, etc. And remember to bring your whistle, but most importantly, show up on time. Referees should be arriving at least 15 minutes prior to the start of the game. Appearance and preparedness matters. Prior to each game, confer with your partner regarding the game. What are the team levels? How will you be calling the game? Take time to introduce yourself to the scorekeeper and to team managers. Discuss any rules or items that you want managers to be aware of or for them to relate to their players. Please be checking player jerseys. Are they the same or similar in color? Do they all have permanent numbers? Use this time to your advantage in order to ensure everyone is on the same page. Managing the game. Hopefully these techniques will make your job easier. Try to deal with the managers instead of individual players. Be friendly, but mind your P's and Q's. We will not tolerate the use of profanity or sexually suggestive jokes. I remind you that our courts are located in schools in which members of the public and children are often present. This type of language will not be tolerated from players or referees. If you are friendly with one team, do the same with both teams. Never talk bad about a team or a player. Avoid holding a grudge with teams and treat them all equally and fairly, and most importantly, be professional. When administering the game, please keep the following points in mind. Avoid making any jokes at the expense of a team or a player, even if they're in on it. Positive comments are okay, but keep them equal between teams. Don't be a smart aleck or go looking for trouble. There's no need to find small rules to use against teams to quote unquote show them how smart you are. Do not instigate teams or players, as that often just leads to heightened emotions and further issues. Finally, hustle. Take the time to run down the court to get a better view of the play. When a player sees that you're hustling, they are less likely to argue or complain about a call. Please do your best to make that extra effort. Prior to the season, please review two-man officiating mechanics. Review positioning and ensure that you are hustling and moving to reflect the changing position of the ball. Keep all players in sight and stay attentive. Please use both verbal and nonverbal communication techniques to ensure everyone understands a specific call. When reporting fouls to the scores table, take the time to walk closer to the table so you are visible. Give the CNFNs the jersey color, player number, foul, and report what happens next. Conduct. Specifically regarding player conduct, do not allow players to talk trash or threaten their opponent or you. Acknowledge their comment, warn the player, and then eject if needed. We will not tolerate players who treat other players or referees with disrespect. Remind players of the purpose of the league, to provide a safe, fun, recreational experience for all. Unsportsmanlike conduct and behavior is unnecessary and does not belong in our league. Officials and players. Take the time to address bad behavior early to avoid possible ejections later in the game. Pull the manager aside between stoppage time or halves and address a player's behavior, and be specific on what you will no longer tolerate. Avoid having rabbit ears. Stay out of a team bench and avoid listening in on conversations that were not directed or meant for you. Don't go searching for trouble, as that may just lead to unnecessary confrontations. Warnings. If you must warn a player, make sure you are clear. For example, if you continue to argue fouls and calls, you will be ejected. Avoid phrases like "we're done here" or "not another word." Be specific on what you will not tolerate. Give out warnings and follow through if the behavior continues. Ejections. If you come to the conclusion that an ejection is necessary, please inform the player that he has been ejected and must leave the facility. Let the team manager know that the game will not continue until the player leaves the school and the player's name has been reported to the scores table. If conduct continues or a player refuses to leave, warn again and protest. Do not continue to argue and walk away if necessary. Please remember to document the incident on the back of the score sheet, including the player's name, and type up a detailed statement to Willie that evening or the day following the incident. Argument versus discussion. Remember, managers and players have the right to respectfully request an explanation. Please don't become defensive or become angry. However, do not allow the discussion to go on for too long. Do not try to win a discussion or argument. Your ruling is final and you do not need to convince him. Regarding judgment calls, keep your explanation brief. There is no need to over-explain. If you feel that a game is getting out of hand, bring the managers together away from their teams and tell them that you will cancel and call the game if conduct continues and behaviors don't change. Post-game. Please remember that many teams stick around following their game. Avoid appearing too friendly with one team and not the other. Stay at your court as you may be able to get started on the next game early if agreed upon by both teams. If you stick around to watch a game as a spectator, please avoid cheering for one team over another. Stay professional and respectful. Points of emphasis. Please carry the Roseville League rules and NFHS or high school rule books with you to each game in case you need to refer back to a specific rule. Take time after this video to also review the team manager's informational video to further understand what has been highlighted to players and teams. Please continue to enforce the player jersey violation rules. If a player does not have the same color or similar in color jersey or does not have a permanent jersey number, please issue the player a technical foul at the start of the game. This is a simple rule to enforce, so please do so. In order to start the game, again, a team must have 4 players present. We will allow for the 10-minute grace period, but after 10 minutes, if a team does not have 4 players, they must forfeit. After reviewing Roseville League rules, if you have any specific questions, please let Willie or myself know and we can help clarify. Use every game as a chance to work on something new or to improve. If you are not sure about a rule, look it up or ask. We cannot expect you to know every single rule inside and out, but do your best and be prepared and look at these games as an opportunity to improve yourself as an official. Final takeaways. Please be on time to each game, again 15 minutes early. Conduct yourself in a professional manner and avoid stooping down to a player's level. Give that extra effort by hustling to better position yourself to make a call. Again, players and teams will notice and be less likely to argue a call. Use the tools and techniques mentioned earlier to better manage the game. And also remember that you are supported, and if you have any questions throughout the season, do not hesitate to contact Willie or myself. We are a team. Finally, don't forget to have some fun while you're out on the courts. It always makes for a more enjoyable work environment. Again, thank you, and I look forward to another successful Roseville winter basketball season.